Distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the Fourth Estate, I wholeheartedly welcome you in my official office at the Capitol building. And I would first love to use this occasion to wish one of Liberia's national political leaders, to wish him a speedy recovery wheresoever he finds himself today. I would love to also wish the family to give them the courage, and we believe that the Almighty God is in control. That is Councilor Charles Walker Bronskin of the Liberty Party. We are wishing him speedy recovery, especially the people of District Number 8, Montserrat County. Having said that, I've invited you here to discuss a series of issues, and after that we'll take a few questions. First, let me categorically condemn the series of violent actions in our country. I believe that Liberia is a country of law, and the law must take its course. It doesn't matter who are you or where you hail from. That doesn't matter. Also, as the spokesperson of the campaign of Mr. Abu Kamara, since the election is not yet over and the National Elections Commission has not announced a result, but they've come with a request for a rerun in specific areas. We filed in a bit of exception that is taking an appeal to the full bench of the Board of Commissioners. By tomorrow 11 a.m., it is suspected that a hearing will begin at the National Elections Commission headquarters. We are very optimistic that if those counting ballot papers are counted, obviously there could be a victory for the mighty coalition for democratic change. But being law-abiding, we have chosen to exhaust all legal means. That's why we find a bit of exception. And if the need be, that we will go to the Supreme Court to climax this legal battle, we will do that. And if the court says that we must go to a rerun in certain areas, we will also abide by that, because we are very, very more optimistic. But at this point, we believe that the ruling from the National Elections Commission in terms of the administrative hearing that just ended contradicted itself. The hearing officer made it emphatically clear that there were no fraud in the election. Not only that, but also there was nothing wrong with the voter roll. That was the argument. The basis upon which they've called for a rerun in certain areas, they claimed that data analysts, one Oxford, had added or had counted some of the votes in the quarantine area, thus putting Mr. Abu Kamara in a lead during the first announcement. The second announcement reduced our vote about 96 or 98, the reduction in our votes. We sought an inquiry, not by running around to the media or making noise about that. They said because the votes that they took up are those areas, form part of those areas that were quarantined. So therefore, the vote reduced. Our concern here is that assuming that your data analysts counted few of the votes from the quarantine era, does that warrant a rerun in those areas? Because it's the error on the part of the National Elections Commission. The National Elections Commission has not justified that there were fraud in the election, and not only that there were problems with the voter roll call. You all listened to the verdict by the hearing officer at the National Elections Commission. So on which ground are they calling for a rerun when there was no fraud in the election, when there was nothing wrong with the voter registration of the roll call? So what's the argument by the hearing officer? Because of this contradiction, we've decided that we'll take an appeal to the Board of Commissioners, which we have done. Not only that, I recall vividly in 2011 when James Flomoya wrote a communication declaring the CDC victorious in the first round of the election in terms of numbers. That was an error that they claimed by the National Elections Commission. They recognized the error and they ratified the error. Now that they have recognized an error and they have not been able to ratify that error, more questions to be answered by the National Elections Commission to the general public. Because those are issues that has to do with just numbers. So that's one of the reasons for which we have decided to exhaust the legal means. And we will remain within the confines of the legal means. And we have insisted to our partisans to remain law-abiding and peaceful in this process. We'll continuously advise our partisans. We'll continuously advise Liberians to remain calm because we are optimistic that victory is certain. The incident that occurred in Lockington, this is not the first of its kind. We got to be very emphatic and clear. I see people trying to shift blame on supporters of Abu Kamara stroke the Coalition for Democratic Change. That is erroneous, and those who are running with it must get the choosing of the story. When we were closing our campaign, this by-election in Lockington, you saw the provocation. People from Tila Euro office stoned our partisans who were walking. In fact, there was a roadblock. Some of you journalists can attest to that. Our partisans were going in for the campaign activities. This story has not been said. People have launched a nasty propaganda against the image of the country for a seat, a district seat. Because if it is not then it must be nobody. If you take a panoramic look and view at Abu Kamara home, just this ended violence, you will see that his home was stoned sufficiently. A car belonging to Senator Sir Joseph parked in front of Abu Kamara home was bought by those who choose stones. Let us not make that mistake that our people provoked the situation. It's unfortunate. I'm disappointed even in senators, some of the senators who are party zealous, trying to blow things out of proportion. Not only that, I've listened to even Senator Johnson, Samuel Johnson, when he said the vehicle belonging to Tila Ure is a bulletproof vehicle. For somebody to bring bulletproof vehicle in Liberia, it raises serious security concern, especially a private citizen. Not only that, because these armored vehicle or bulletproof vehicle will be used in robbing banks, in armed robbery, and the security forces may not have control over that. Not only that, but this vehicle is impersonating, or those who use it are impersonating, with a built-in alarm system, the siren. No private citizen, let me repeat, No private citizen under the laws of Liberia has the authority to move in our country with sovereign. It's a gross violation of the law. I now use this occasion to call on the Ministry of Justice, the necessary security apparatus, to investigate whether this car is a bulletproof vehicle and why this car had a siren on it. Because what we saw from visual evidence, this vehicle was used to provide security protection for those who were throwing stones at Abu B. Kamara home. You all saw the visual evidence were used to protect those people. But what is worrisome and what is alleged, and I asked the police to investigate this, it is alleged, let me be selective with my words, that this vehicle was given by a foreign government to Mr. Fuma Salif when he did a job boss in Liberia for security protection. And if this vehicle was given to Mr. Fuma Salif, who was one head of the NSA, I say if, and it is alleged, then that vehicle belongs to the government of the Republic of Liberia. My understanding, the vehicle was sold to the Ure family. It's alleged that that vehicle is a security-built vehicle belonging to the government of the Republic of Liberia that was sold to the Ure family. These are questions that our security apparatus must answer. They must have the funding. You need to know when that vehicle entered the country, who purchased that vehicle originally, or who gave that vehicle originally. Because, mind you, the situation occurring in our country, the act of violence, you can recall that the collaborating political parties went to the National Elections Commission office a few weeks ago. One of their vehicles was being arrested by the police with knives and with rocks. The police, let me repeat, the police is yet to come up with a funding. This is a great offense, because if they can go to the National Elections Commission office with rocks in a vehicle and knife, they are capable of taking similar knife and rocks to Lockington and provoke the situation, because there is vivid evidence, pictorial evidence, visual evidence to show that a vehicle belonging to the collaborating forces went to the National Elections Commission office with rocks in it and knife. The collaborating forces are not condemning this. They are blowing things out of proportion in this country, because once they are not in power, it means no other person in the Republic of Liberia should be in power. Gone are the days in our political landscape where one family, where one group of people, where a tribe or an ethnic group will feel that power only good for them. Now, when I listen to Mr. Uri, when he said, if my daughter had died, I would have died also. That's a pathetic statement. Many persons said they shed tears. I also shed tears. But I shed tears in a different manner and form. And why did I shed tears? When Mr. Europe bought arms and ammunition, and the United Nations put a restriction on him, those arms and ammunition killed innocent sons and daughters of our country. Children were killed by those arms and ammunition. Women were killed. Men were killed. Properties were looted. Oh yes, I shed tears. Because I also have a daughter. And I know I will not only shed tears for my daughter, but I will shed tears for also those Liberian kids who are being victimized. We're not supporting violence. We're not support violence. We don't want Tidia to be harmed. She's a little sister to us. We don't want that. But Mr. Ure did not even have the courage to say, had those kids who were chunking stones until that Euro place, some of them got wounded. He didn't have the courage to say, had they died, I will shed tears. I shed tears because it means that Mr. Ure doesn't care for others. He only care about his own. That's why it shows. We can sit here and allow people to construct what I call catharsis, sentiments or emotions. We not do that. We all share tears. Some of our parents got killed because of the ammunition you bought. Some of our relatives got killed. In Lockington, our friends, our relatives, some of them were in siege. They were kept in hostage. We all share tears. People got wounded in the process. We all share tears. We're not sharing tears because it's my daughter Emilia. We should not share tears because it's Tilia. No, we must share tears when Liberians are in similar condition. When in fact those who are sharing tears are the people who sponsor the raping of women in our country. The raping of young children, intoxicating our young people to hold arm and create carnage. We must shed tears for those things and not shed tears because it is our own. Yes, I condemn the violent action. Let me also say, I see people saying violence against women, trying to put our mothers and people in District 15 together to come and protest or sit in action. The violence in District 15 that took place, especially in Lockington area, not violent against women. No. Two groups of people exchanged stones. They were not targeting people because they are women. Nobody must mislead our mothers to put them into the street because of power. We cannot sit here and allow that to happen. Our people must be educated. We must inform our people to claim that because two groups of people choose stones that are violent against women, that is sentimental argument. I want to use this occasion to call on the National Elections Commission, specifically, that the National Elections Commission should immediately look out into District 15 to curtail any act of pre-campaign activities. It's very important. This could be some of the reasons for sentiments and emotions in District 15. We want the National Elections Commission, let me repeat, to curtail or punish those who will be involved into pre-campaign activities while the National Elections Commission has not declared campaign open in District 15. Another important thing that I would love to reveal here, all intelligence has shown that there is a desperate quest by members of the collaborating forces to besmear the image of the Republic of Liberia with a hope, because they cannot wait of establishing an interim arrangement. There will be no interim arrangement in this country like I stated in 2017. If you want interim arrangement, get in a spaceship and go to Pluto. Because not in the Republic of Liberia that you have interim arrangement. Once these people are not in power, they will do every and anything to damage the image of the country. That's what they are bent on doing. Finally, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to read a provision of the Code of Conduct, and I will tell you why. I will tell you why I'm reading this provision of the Code of Conduct. Section 10.3 of the Code of Conduct. Section 10.3. Sanctions for false declaration. Every public official and employee of government shall declare and affirm that his or her declaration is accurate to the best of his or her knowledge. Any statement in such declaration found to be false upon verification shall lead to summary dismissal and other measures provided by law. You know, sometimes people talk and they talk too much. I listened to Front Page Africa, I witnessed Front Page Africa, and I listened to my senator. Because he's a senator from Montserrat County, it means he also represents me as a senator, Senator Dillon. There was a question asked by one journalist. I didn't see him, but he said, "How much do you make?" My understanding is that he said he doesn't know because they have not given him full detail how much he makes. That was a very significant question. You claim you have declared your assets. On the assets declaration form, your income should be stated. Once you didn't state your income, it means a false declaration of your assets. It's stated there. I declare my assets here. That is part of the assets declaration. So, one, he under-declared his assets. He didn't say the truth on the oath. You must sign. It's an oath there. Now, all that you said is nothing but the truth. And you can be held liable for that. Let me repeat. You don't know your income, but you declare an assets, and your income is asked for. That false declaration is a violation of Section 10 of the Code of Conduct. It's a gross violation of the Code of Conduct. Whether he was saying the truth to you people, lying to you or not, but once he said that, it's a false declaration of the Code of Conduct. Secondly, when he declared his assets and liabilities, he said one thing, according to the Front Page Africa report, that he asked the Secretary of the Senate to make assets public. He had betrayed the historical comment coming from his mouth during the campaign period. He said, "I will make my assets public," besides declaring the assets. You don't scapegoat. You don't escape by asking the Secretary of the Senate to make your assets public. No. The Secretary of the Senate is under no obligation to make any senator asset public. Being that Mr. Dillon knows this very well. So he decided to form an escape route. So that when you put the microphone to him, you will say, "But I told the Secretary of the Senate to make my assets public." Why would the Secretary of the Senate take money from to publish it in all newspapers? Is it the responsibility of the Secretary of the Senate? I read it in Front Page Africa, except they misquoted him. But what I read is what I'm responding to. Okay, so where would the Secretary of the Senate take money from? The man told the Liberian people that I will not only declare my assets, but I'll make my assets public. You, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the Fourth Estate, you have all of the recordings during the campaign period. People must be held liable. Another thing he said, he's my senator. So I have to hold him responsible for statement and commitments. Another important thing he said I will present a bill to cut our salary. He used the word bill. Now, when you interview him, he said he will talk to his colleagues. You listen, the language is changing. The political tone is changing. The political rhetoric is coming to reality. No, present the bill. Because in this place, you don't present bill for salary reduction or increment. No, salary reduction or increment in government, especially in the legislature, let me be specific. Some of those determinations are made on the prevailing economic situation. whether increment or whether reduction. And I want to say to you emphatically, we wrote a communication for salary reduction. You sat in my office, you interviewed me here. I went to radio stations, newspapers, as far back as 2013. Again, one of my first communications, or my few communications, has to do with salary reduction, that you all can attest to that. I did that now with a bill, because I know you can't pass a bill on salary reduction. We did that by talking to our colleagues, and I'll speak to you. Many of our colleagues are inclined to accepting reduction in the House of Representatives. What will be the reduction is for the plenary to make that determination. But many of our colleagues, so you don't just talk because you want to talk. You don't just talk because you want to talk. Declare your assets, make your assets public. The same day, anything now will be belated. Anything now to make it public will be belated. Not only that, but the issue of false declaration is a crime under Section 10 of the Code of Conduct. Nobody, government official, can ever declare an assets without stating your income where you work. Then you say, I don't know. You come to the Senate or you come to the House of Representatives, you say, I don't know. No. You go there, if you don't know, summon him. Or they will report to you. How can you work? You don't know how much you're working for. How can you be inducted into office and tell you? That is deception. So if you don't know, why you declare your assets? If you don't know, why did you declare your assets? Because your income forms part of your assets. That is false declaration. Another thing here is this. I heard Senator Dillon describing the House of Representatives as being rotten. And I heard he said to the pro-tem that the statement the pro-tem made to him, he was very technical on that. That because of that, I think it seems to be that the Senate is rotten too, because of this statement. They left with the senators to handle that. But to bring the House of Representatives to public disrepute, to say that this House is rotten, and to go further and say that the Speaker is also rotten because he claimed that the Speaker and the pro-tem can play Lulu with the President. Now, why he claim? They play that child's play. We will not sit and allow somebody to bring the House of Representatives to public disrepute. Some of us, under our rules in the House, if you bring this House to public disrepute, there can be action. And because it doesn't work with the House of Representatives, I will serve the pro-tem a communication. The Liberian Senate by Thursday, complaining that one of its members have made a flagrant, disrespectful statement describing members of the House of Representatives or the House of Representatives as being rotten. What they do with it, they left with them. But I can assure you that we will not sit on this end and allow a colleague in the legislature to bring another horse to public disrepute. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the Fourth Estate, I rest, and one of you will coordinate, and I'm a very friendly person.